Kevy Kev here, and today I want to talk about this scandal that's happening up there in the commie capital of the West, Canada. At Wilfrid Laurier University, a teaching assistant named Lindsay Shepard showed a video to her class of Jordan Peterson, another Canadian college professor. And in that video clip, he was debating a second Canadian college professor on the issue of trans rights, particularly about whether people should be forced to use a pronoun. Now, you can see the problems with this and why somebody would want to debate this. People today in the left, these social justice warrior idiots, they claim to be trans anything. If they like something, they think that means they're trans. So like if they like black culture, they're transracial. If they like Filipino culture, like that guy in Florida or girl in Florida who thinks he's a Philippine woman, then they're trans-Filipina. And this is why Jordan Peterson was so concerned when the Canadian government wanted to legalize and legislate how people use pronouns. And so it became a big issue, and it was a hot topic, and it was aired on Canadian national television. So the university was not happy that Lindsay Shepard showed this clip of Jordan Peterson debating this other professor. What they said was that she did not give a narrative of context. So basically they're saying she didn't say that Jordan Peterson was Hitler and disavow him and explain to her class that he's a right-wing nut job. And because she didn't do that, she had to be punished for showing this video to her class. So they took her into a secret meeting in which they went on to label Jordan Peterson basically Hitler. They said it was akin to showing speeches of the Fuhrer in Nazi Germany. Like these kids have not seen that on the History Channel 1,000 times. But anyway, they met in secret and they berated this young lady. And then they came up with this decision that they were going to monitor her classes, make her turn in her lesson plans ahead of time, and audit her whenever they felt like it. And this was completely absurd. This is showing you that the universities of today cannot tolerate even the slightest right-leaning. And I saw this when I was last at university. I saw where professors would grade white males differently. I saw where anybody who was at campus in a leadership position, whether it be student government or a faculty dean, who voiced anything right-wing, they're immediately ostracized and put in jeopardy. So, it's nothing new. But up in Canada, it's so much worse than here in the United States because now they have these human rights tribunals which are actually trying to punish people for speech and thought crimes, basically, against the left-wing establishment narrative. So, we had a victory with this Lindsay Shepard thing. People started pushing back. And you saw people speaking up about it on the news. People poured in letters to the university demanding that the professors reevaluate this case and apologize to Miss Shepard. And we were winning for a minute. But now, as of this week, there's been a huge pushback, including Miss Shepard's attorney saying that they're now trying to undermine their original meeting and take a back avenue approach to getting Miss Shepard canned from the university. And because she's a teaching assistant, I guess that means they're going to expel her too. So there's been that. And then there was also a few marches held. And one of these marches was a trans rights march. And I want to read to you a piece from this therecord.com. It's a online left-leaning blog, but it has some quotes and an article from this trans rally. And it says so much when you read this. Let me give you a little tidbit here. Free speech is a distraction, quotes Kira Williams, a PhD student and teaching assistant. So this is another TA saying that free speech is a distraction. I guarantee you they're not going to censure her for saying that. This person will probably become a dean of the university on fast track. But Miss Shepard's career is basically over. So, the people who can't speak are us, the trans and non-binary people. $1 million tells you this person is not trans nor non-binary, that she's just making this crap up because she feels like, she wants to be a part of that oppression celebration. Anyway, Williams didn't want to talk about Shepard. In fact, the woman at the center of the controversy was rarely mentioned during the hour-and-a-half rally. She already got an apology. She's good, Williams said. So because she got an apology, she's fine now. She's done. Now you pay attention to us because we're the trans people. You have to celebrate us and screw those Nazis. My life and existence is not debatable. We deserve to hear the university recognize our existence. This rally is being held by the university's Rainbow Center. So I think it's fair to say that the university acknowledges their existence. Probably too much. Spending millions of dollars, they could lower their tuition a little bit and spend less money on LGBTQ rainbow centers and all these other stupid social justice products and projects. And this might help, reduce the student debt crisis a little bit if we didn't waste so much money on BS. Signs at the rally hosted by a Trans Justice Collective included the messages #SayItDeb, #NameItDeb, and #NameTransphobia. See, Deb is the principal of the university, Deborah McClatchy, and they want her to say that this person is a transphobe and a Nazi, and because she didn't say that and she was forced to apologize, they consider this university president a Nazi, even though she was the one who originally clamped down on Shepard for dare show anything that voices a right-wing opinion. The WLU Rainbow Center issued a list of demands because every time the left is offended, they have demands. We've seen this with Black Lives Matter a million times here. Remember the banana incident? Their demands for university last Friday, followed by another release Monday that was signed by nearly 40 faculty members. Both included calls for official acknowledgement that transphobia is a problem on campus and a public apology should be made. We want you to say that you are sorry for failing to uphold experiences and safety of our non-binary and gender diverse people in the Laurier community and for your complicity in maintaining transphobia, said their release. A message from McClatchy was posted on the university's website. This is the university president now. Recent events have caused some people to question Laurier's commitment to our LGBTQ2 campus community. What is this 2? It shows up all over now. And I'm surprised they didn't put pedo at the end of the LGBT because that's where they're going now. It began, we are proud of Laurier's record of celebrating all aspects of diversity, the presence, visibility, and voices of our lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer, and two-spirited. I guess that's what the hell is two-spirited? Faculty and staff enrich our campus in immeasurable ways. All right, so if the LGBTQ students enrich their campus immeasurably, I wish I could hear McClatchy name one way that's so. Can anybody out there name one way to the people who see this video? Please list one way LGBTQ people enrich a university that straight people don't, or people who don't talk about their sexuality don't. I'll be surprised if you can. McClatchy said the university has created additional supports for student, faculty, and staff, added measures to improve campus safety. There's no place at Laurier for bigotry, discrimination, or marginalization. So, finally said, the incident that sparked the conflict on campus, trans, non-binary students have faced incredible amounts of violence. Sorry, that said Finlay said. So they faced incredible amounts of violence. Where? When? Since this whole thing started, there's not been one story out there of a police report or an arrest made because somebody was violent against trans people. I'm sure they are counting speech as violence. And this is the comment that really got me. Students have been feeling very unsafe, said Finlay, adding that it's having an effect on mental health and class attendance. Well, we've seen this before. We've seen where the left skip class for any reason they can. They look up for, emotional scarring or some sort of, perceived injustice so they can get out of taking tests or doing their work because they're lazy. But on top of that, these people love to try to conflate speech with violence. And this is where it leads us to. Incidents like this that cost people their jobs, their lives, their reputation. And now in Canada, it can put them in jail. And we have to fight back. Guys, we need to go out there and troll the president of the university, Deborah McClatchy. We need to go out and troll all the Canadian university presidents. write letters. Here's what I did. I sent a bunch of memes and letters to their diversity office, explaining to them why transgender people are mentally ill and how the left is enabling that mental illness. And that is why trans people have such high regret rates after surgery, after sex change procedures. That is why they have such high suicide attempt rates. They have a 45% suicide attempt rate. That is because their mental health issues are not being addressed. And instead, these people are exploiting them. Trans people, you are being exploited by left-wing SJWs who want to do to you what they did to black people 40 years ago and have you be their shock troops for their oppression Olympics. Here's the thing, guys. I have PTSD, okay? I was in the war. I saw a lot of death, a lot of explosions, a lot of crap happen there that was, had effect on my young mind, okay? And it scarred me. And I still have nightmares to this day. I don't sleep much. But I don't want anybody throwing me a parade for PTSD. I do not want anybody trying to normalize PTSD to make other people think that having PTSD is good. Because just like trans, we see all these kids now running around saying they're trans when they're not, so they can participate in what they think is trendy. Guys, it's so dangerous. This is mental illness we're talking about. And even if the DSM-V, which is the Diagnostic Manual for Psychiatry, changed the definition of transgender from a mental illness to a disorder, what kind of disorder causes you to cut off a piece of your anatomy and take dangerous hormone drugs that can kill you and make you grow tits, changes your whole body's chemistry? That's not just a disorder. And to minimalize it like this is a disgrace. People should speak out about this, even if it is considered hate speech. Because guess what, Canada? If you don't, you are causing people to succumb to mental illness. You are causing a genocide by letting these high suicide rates continue because you're not addressing the problems. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I'm out.